Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
And we're back, all three of us in studio. Robbie Copeland's Guys of a Certain Age, alongside
Art Shirley
and Jay Reed.
All right, guys, we're back together. So, Jay, it's time for you to carry the show.
Okay. All right. Well, today we're going to have 7 regrettable superheroes.
All right. As we record, tomorrow's the first day of summer, right? Or is today the first day of summer?
Today is the 20th. I thought that was, is that right? I thought today was the first day of summer.
I have not paid attention. It's sort of felt like summer already, so I haven't really been paying to the dates.
You haven't been paying to the dates?
I haven't paid that either.
Painting the dates, paying attention to the dates, paying the dates.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the above.
What about the California raisins? You've been paying them? Dates, raisins,
heard it through
cranberries.
that didn't.
Summer starts June 20th, 10:50 p.m. Central. No, wait, what is that? CEST. That must be Sweden. Okay.
Seslavai.
That's what it is. It says it's Sweden.
Did you really just say that?
Seslavai?
C'est la vie.
Oh, I know it's c'est la vie. Yes.
I'm not sure you know.
He said CEST. Say is CET. Never
That's
mind.
true.
Jay, I'm so far ahead of you.
C'est la vie, c'est la vie.
All right, Robbie Neville.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right. Did you know that was Robbie Neville?
I don't know that I really remember
At one
that.
time, I probably knew it, but I did not know it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Don't talk to me
I
about
was too old when
faux
I relearned
French.
it.
Faux French.
Don't talk to me about faux French. Well,
Let's faux to French. I'm more of an Anglophile myself. I don't know who I'm doing. I don't know what's
we
going
don't
on.
know who you're doing. We don't know who you are.
Who am I?
Who are you? James Stockdale. Why am I here?
I thought you were going to jump on it.
Nope.
Who am I?
Oh.
What is this?
24601.
What was that?
Les
Les
Mis.
Mis.
Okay.
They're coming to Birmingham, Robert. Your opportunity is coming.
I may just have to pass on that one. So anyway, well, let's jump into some Geeks of the Week. Do you have one, Art? Did you figure one out?
Yeah, I do have one.
Okay.
Ridley Scott says Gladiator 2. Did anybody remember they were making a Gladiator 2?
I vaguely remember. I mean, that's one of those movies that, like, everybody's dead at the end. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I don't remember anybody being alive.
Kind of like Rogue One.
Yes. But the sequel to Rogue One is really good.
Yeah, yes. But would it be a prequel since it came before? Never mind. Go ahead. Gladiator.
Timeline. Gladiator.
Timey-wimey.
Gladiator is going to have the biggest action sequences ever. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
So I'm picturing Russell Crowe from Thor, Love and Rockets, or whatever it was called. I can't really.
The Zeus bod.
Yeah, he's going to have to,
Is
I'm not
he
sure.
in it?
Yeah, he's in it.
How's he in it?
I don't know how he's in it, but he's in it.
They Bobby Ewing'd him, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. He shows up in the shower.
It was all just a bad dream. I'm still a
Hey,
Roman.
Pam.
Still a Roman
Pamela's.
Pamela's.
And some other folks are back. Joaquin Phoenix is not back, but
Did he die in the other one?
I think it must have, yeah.
I don't remember.
Denzel Washington's going to be in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think it's a crossover between
don't.
that and...
Know that I'm going to really look forward to that.
Yeah.
okay.
Probably.
Is there anything you are looking forward to movie-wise?
Yes, I'm going to tell you about it in a minute.
Okay. We'll hold
Was that going to be
thought.
your Geek of the Week?
What?
I will say, speaking of movies, we watched the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
How was that?
It was really good. We enjoyed it a lot.
David really wants to see that.
Yeah, it's good.
Is it on what service is it on?
We
Or did you
bought
rent
it.
Okay, bought it. Oh,
Yeah, Will
They're
was
one of these
home.
people.
That was kind of my Father's Day gift.
okay.
So, because I'd been wanting to see it forever, and it just seemed to be taking forever to come to a streaming service that I already paid for. So,
Near you.
Yeah, near me.
Yeah.
Or away from me, and
Near my
use a VPN
credit
and
card.
get it. But it was good. We really liked it. It's a Guy Ritchie movie. Henry Cavill's in it. Alan Richardson's in it. He was really good. He was the Jack Reacher.
Oh.
And if you think he can only play Jack Reacher,
Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk or Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
But he was really good.
He should be Batman. He should be the
He would
DC.
make it. He would make a good Batman.
You know who he played in Smallville years ago?
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Yeah. In fact, I was doing a search, And they listed that as like best known for Aquaman. I said, no, not at all. Very obscure. He would be a good Aquaman too if they rebooted that.
It would have been
and make Jason Momoa Lobo.
Yeah. That would be great. Jason Momoa is Lobo. I saw. Oh gosh, who? Oh yeah, I'll tell you. This geek is pretty interesting. If you're done with your geek.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that's just all it is. It seems like a pretty extreme claim to make. The most action or the biggest action scenes ever.
That is pretty.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Or we may not.
Or possibly not. It didn't turn out that way.
Depending on who goes to the theater. Yeah. So, read an interview this week with John Hamm, Mad Men star. He was in the latest thing. He was in the morning show with Jennifer Aniston.
Well, he's also in Frosted.
What's that?
That's the Pop-Tart movie Jerry Seinfeld made.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
Big hit, huge thing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great. You saw it, didn't you?
I've not.
You've not seen it? Neither one of y'all seen Frosted?
I know it's a food movie, too. I should have watched it
right
away.
Y'all would love it.
I thought it was like a prequel to Frozen.
Yeah. It's the aftermath.
It's both a prequel and a sequel.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the anger issues after Frozen. I'm a little frosted. I can't let it go. I can't. I don't know what that is either.
Nobody does.
That's right.
Anyway, so apparently John Hamm is a is a comic book guy, right?
Oh, really? Yeah.
And
I thought he was an actual person.
Yeah, he is. He is. So with a name like John Hamm, you would think. Anyway, he was approached at some point when the DCEU about becoming a Green Lantern.
Really?
Yeah.
He'd be a good Green Lantern.
He's like, no, that's okay.
What does he want to do?
He wants to do something on the Marvel side. He said there's a comic book he likes a lot, like he's read a ton of, and he would like to be involved in that. He did not say what it was.
Yeah.
But John Hamm in the...
Millie the Model. Really? That was an early book that was real popular before they brought the whole superheroes thing in.
I've never heard of Millie the Model.
If you read any old 60s stuff, they reference Millie the Model. Stan Lee always talks about Millie the Model. And we're not just talking about Millie the Model. So
interesting.
Anyway, yeah.
He would have been a good Wonder Man.
I'm sorry, that was Wonder Boy.
Yeah. Who's playing Wonder Man? He's been cast.
I don't know.
It's the guy who played Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen series.
Okay. Did y'all see John Hamm in Fletch? The last Fletch movie?
No.
Didn't see the Fletch movie.
It's good.
Speaking of Watchmen, there is going to be another animated version. Oh,
is that your geek? Because it's mine.
Okay. We'll let him have it. So that was my backup. That was my original
backup.
I've got a backup if you want to go for it.
Let's do both of yours.
Go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead, Jay. You get out in front of the geek parade this time.
Well, there's going to be a new Watchmen.
What? It's the first I've heard of it.
Animated Watchmen movie, and they're calling it Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Chapter 1, I think, is coming out in August this year, and Chapter 2 sometime next year. So I don't know if it's two separate full-length movies that was not able to tell
What's
that.
the source material?
It's Watchmen. They're redoing Watchmen.
So it's the book, not
but I didn't see. I saw the trailer.
It's the book.
It's the original book.
Because they did a extended series afterwards that had a bunch of authors and things, and they would take a different character.
Yeah.
And
now this is going
Alan
back
Moore
to
loved that.
Going back to the seminal work. Yeah.
Okay.
And I read one place. I didn't see this every place I read, but one said it might be rated R.
Well,
I would think.
Yeah.
Rated R.
I would think it would be.
Snyder movie was rated R, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bound to be. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. With
Because we asked the question. I wonder if, they did do that. Yep, there it
The
is.
full Monty or the full Manhattan, as the case may
Watchmen.
You better watch it. You better watch it.
So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
Because I've watched, read the graphic novel, watched the series, watched the original, or
so he's
original.
a watched man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a franchise that I really knew nothing about 4 or 5 years ago, and really find fascinating.
Yeah.
So there's no mention if they're going to adapt the Tales of the Black Freighter.
Yeah,
comic.
as part of that.
Yeah, but apparently
there is an animated version of that out there.
Is there?
Right? Yeah.
Is there? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like how Peter Jackson cut out all of Tom Bombadil from Fellowship of the Ring, but apparently
they're bringing it back.
Tom Bombadil is going to appear in the Rings of Power.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, which will be quite interesting. When does that kick off?
I don't know. I read something that they're really retooling it and putting the emphasis more on
Powerful rings.
yes, they didn't do this past time or
Yeah.
the first season, and people were very disappointed in that. And they said, "Well, that's what we kind of expected to watch because the name of the thing is Rings of Power, right?"
Yeah.
Okay, so
We need to see the rings being forged.
that's right. Yeah, and that's what fans tuned in for and what they did not get.
Yeah.
So they're going to redo that.
Are either one of you guys watching The Alkalite?
I am. Yeah,
I have not watched
Caught
any
up.
of it yet.
watched it. Yeah.
You like it?
I do like it. I think we talked about it before. I see a lot of hate on it, but I'm enjoying it so far.
I like it quite a
Yeah.
bit. So I would not wear one of those Jedi robes, though.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I think I've seen mostly negative, but I haven't read a lot about it. But I have seen some negative stuff about it, so I hadn't. Jumped
Now, I
out.
will say the opening scene of last week's episode, no spoiler alert, but or maybe there should be a spoiler alert. It looked a lot like a high-budget Land of the Lost with Chaka walking through the woods. Do you remember who Chaka was?
No.
Yeah, he was the ape-like character that befriended the family. The early man.
Oh, yeah,
Something
yeah,
between
yeah.
Chewbacca and an Ewok, basically.
Yeah, no,
as I recall.
Well, so Lucas ripped him off completely.
Yeah.
Land of the Lost is a definitive work.
What did it define? Low budget.
Poor production value.
Speaking of,
That's right. Doctor Who went, come on, man, step up your game.
yeah, hold my TARDIS. You know? Oh man, I started watching a little Space 1999 on
Oh
Amazon
my gosh, how are you liking it?
You know, I got through about 10 minutes and I fell asleep. So.
It's very, very slow.
It is.
I mean, deliberate pacing is one thing, but this is wow.
Boy.
But what's funny to me is I started noticing how many eagles blow up. And I love the Eagle ship. That's
one of the that's one of the best spaceships of all time.
I think so too. It just really is. And the utilitarian function of it, the things that can make it change, it can carry people or cargo, whatever.
Yeah.
So I did it. I looked up how many eagles were destroyed over the 2 seasons. It's like 25. And you think, they had 25 eagles. Why didn't they just all get on eagles and go to Earth?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But maybe they fabricated
But I digress.
this. You do. You do digress. So, and you guys started watching, you watched Bratz.
Yeah.
On Hulu, and I'm probably half of the way through it. I can't remember what time I fell asleep in the middle of. So it's pretty fascinating.
It is interesting. Yeah, we can talk about it, especially in light of the fact that we talked about John Hughes movies not too long ago.
Yeah.
Good follow up.
So, all right, you got any more geekage?
Nope.
All
No,
right.
I thought you had 2.
Well, I was saving it.
Oh.
Unless you want me to. I can
Do it, man.
It's quick because
Come on.
So Josh Gad is
Oh,
joining
yes, I
forces
was.
with Mel Brooks to produce the sequel to Spaceballs.
When I saw that
There's
last
not
night,
a
I
lot
said, this is
about
going to be
it.
my geek, and then I completely forgot about
Yeah,
it.
there's not a lot out about it really. Just it's coming, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think for me, I saw a couple of names that I didn't really recognize that are involved, directors and stuff. But I think I would enjoy seeing. I need to go back and watch the first one. That's been a long time.
Yeah.
But I think it would be great if they could put in some cameos, from the older characters if they're not already involved.
From the older Spaceball
From the older
characters.
Spaceballs, yeah. Even if they came in as somebody else, but kind of like Carrie Fisher just was continually throughout. I don't know what Daphne Zuniga is doing now, but
Probably not too busy.
yeah, I haven't seen her around.
So they're missing a big opportunity if they don't call this Spaceballers.
Spaceballers.
Yeah. Yeah, like a baller, good basketball. Never mind. Yeah, a little too hip for you guys.
Too hip for the room.
Yeah, which is not difficult to do.
Yeah, so no time.
Well, we're at the point where we're breaking hips, not being hip. So.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Medicare Part what? Yeah, I get my parts for Medicare. All right, but now it's time for
Jay's Regrettable Segment. Yes, it's Jay's Regrettable Segment brought back after weeks off the air. And I can't remember who's bringing it to you. Maybe some type of hip replacement surgery.
There you go.
I wondered if you.
That
were
is
gonna go
ironic, given the character we're going to talk about today.
Oh, really?
It
It
is
is.
Captain Ironic.
No.
Oh, I tried. All right, what you got, Jay?
Okay, I need to. I'm obviously going to have to charge the light source that usually shows me what I'm reading, my tiny, terrible handwriting. But this week it's Pat Parker, War Nurse. There you go. I like that.
Pat Parker, War Nurse.
So Pat Parker was from May of 1941 in Harvey Comics. We got the Robbie thinks he's in the sphere. Okay.
Oh, that's a really good geek. Eagles are going to the sphere.
We talked about that last week on the show that hasn't aired yet.
Oh, I wasn't there.
In fact, we said that the 6 of us, the 3 of us and our wives, should go to Vegas to see the Eagles in the sphere.
Okay.
What
That
do you
sounds
think?
good. I think that sounds great. Becky's in.
Looking for a sponsor now.
I wasn't in the show last week, was it?
Right. No, we're not. No.
Were you in the show at all last week? Oh, yeah. Because we recorded with Paige.
Yeah.
Then we recorded it
Wes.
with Wes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was here for one show last week.
For one show.
That's true. But not the show where we talked about the sphere.
No.
Okay. So Pat Parker wore nurse. Go ahead.
If Steel Magnolias was playing in the sphere, we'd all been going to that, I guess, after talking to Paige.
I tell you what, if looks could kill, I mean, that was pretty, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So Pat Parker wore nurse started off just as a war nurse, basically with, lowercase w, lowercase n. She's just helping soldiers and beating up Nazi spies, which seems to be the recurring theme in these Golden Age comics. But then later she got a costume. She got capital letters. Now, war nurse was more her title than her description.
Avocation.
And her cowl, if you kind of think about, y'all can see the picture here, but you kind of think about the old nurse hats that they used to wear in the day.
Yeah.
So it's like the nurse hat with eyes cut out and kind of pulled down a little bit. So she later became leader, and this is kind of leader of a group called the Girl Commandos. So she never really had her own book. She was kind of never a lot of features, but part of maybe 24 comics.
What comic book company put her out?
Harvey.
Okay.
Harvey Comics. And she was in, so it turned into a group. They fended off L.A., an invasion of the Japanese from L.A., because remember, that was all World War II kind of stuff. But what I thought was fascinating about this, and you two would probably be able to tell me more, when we talk about comic authors and illustrators and stuff around here, we mostly hear guy names.
Yes.
The illustrator, the writer for Pat Parker was women. Started off with a woman named Barbara Hall, I believe. And then the one that's listed in the book here is Jill Elgin. But both of them, then one kind of turned it over to the other. So, so lady writers here, or illustrators, or both. So, cool. And I thought that was just really cool, because we're talking about early 40s, and maybe there was more than we are aware of, but we just don't hear about a lot.
And I like the work. What year was this? This was
1941, and then it ended in 46.
So it looks like it was probably, kind of an answer to Wonder Woman to a degree.
There's a lot of similarities.
And then there's Captain Freedom, who's obviously part of that Commandos, and he looks like a cross between Robin and Captain America.
Captain America with shorts.
Yeah.
Right.
Which would be Bucky, right?
Yeah. Well, that is Bucky. Did Bucky wear short pants?
Didn't he have short pants?
I thought he did. I started to say Bucky, but then I wasn't sure. I kind of think of him as having short pants, but maybe not.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway.
We know Robin wore short pants.
That's right.
Oof.
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 What was up with that? Come on.
Yeah. Short and tight pants. Yeah. Okay.
So regrettable, not regrettable? I think not regrettable in its...
I'm kind of regretting the Robin comments. I'm going to say not regrettable. I can see that working.
Yeah.
I could see, especially the Girl Commandos thing, I could see something working like that. Yeah. Do we have anything similar to that now? I mean, besides Ocean's 13 or whatever?
Ocean's 7.
Ocean's 7,
I mean,
that was the...
they've talked about doing an Avengers thing. They had at one point talked about doing a female Avengers movie. That would have Black Widow. I think that was before she died. Now I guess it would have Florence Pugh's character instead, and the Wasp. Of course, she's retired now.
So how's it going so far?
And you've got Captain Marvel, who apparently no one likes, and wants to put in a movie. Miss Marvel, no one likes.
See, I love Miss Marvel.
I do too. I like them all. I like
the
Marvels.
She's going to be the
Captain
young
Marvel.
Avengers, right? Isn't the
Yeah, that's
Avengers?
true. Yeah.
Okay.
But they had that shot at the end of.
I think you could pull your light down.
My phone is dead. Why is that?
It's like having the light.
While Jay is blind.
having the light on your phone perpetually is like having your right turn signal on.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. And I'm famous for walking around with somebody going, I can see that your flashlight is on in your pants. I'm like, wow, that's a personal statement.
That's a conversation starter right there. Sorry, Mrs. Reed. All right. Should we break
in my
now?
Robin pants?
Oh, what was the it was Jimmy Fallon, his tight pants. Yeah.
I got my tight pants.
Oh,
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Sing it. Do you remember this? Do you know this?
I don't.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
Do you have any social media at all?
Yeah.
It shows up all the time, and now it will show up, and you'll see it in a reel. Now that we've
for
discussed
sure.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because since your phone is,
I think that's the only place I've seen it.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
it's pretty funny
it is pretty funny. Jennifer Lopez comes out at some point.
Okay.
with their tight pants on.
Christina Aguilera.
So rare.
Yeah. Ugh. All right. We're going to do...
Before we digress further,
we're going to compose ourselves and talk about Dune Part 2 up next. And we're back. All three of us. Art didn't leave. Jay didn't pass out. And I'm still stuck here as well. So we're going to talk Dune Part 2. We've all finally seen it.
Dune Tier.
Now, Jay, you and I saw it in the theater. We went, didn't we?
incorrect. I saw it on my television this weekend.
Dune 2. Y'all saw the original Dune in the theater.
Yeah, but
The
I thought you
original,
would. Oh, yeah, you could
We
make
talked
it
about it
because you had
weekend, didn't
plans.
we?
You
Yeah.
had plans.
You
that
and
night.
Mark or David?
Yes,
both, possibly.
Yes,
Went and saw it.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I think Crystal went with us as well.
Okay.
So, well, what did you guys think about Dune?
I was not a fan of the first one, as you may remember, but I really liked the second one.
That's interesting to me.
I think it had more action in it. There seemed to be more of where the first one seemed slow to me in a lot of places. This one, for some reason, did not. And
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch the first one again to see if I just wasn't maybe in the mood for Dune at the time.
the Dune mood. Oh, we've been doing
But
this
I'm a Dune
too
dude
long.
now. Dune 2 dude.
Dune 2 dude, wop. So, Jay, what did you think about Dune?
Are you a Dune dude as well?
This one I was halfway and half. Sorry, I broke out into Arabic there. I forget
We'll take
who I
your
was
word
with.
for it.
Boy, I tell you what, I didn't have that on my bingo card today.
Forgot who I was
Jay
with.
speaking to me in Arabic. Yeah.
I liked it as I know this is production. To say it had good production value is like a giant understatement.
We call that a cop out.
Yeah, I loved all the things about the movie, but I just wasn't
the story,
into it.
the characters.
I just wasn't as into it, I think, as the first one. And I think maybe the first one, I had some knowledge because I'd watched the old movie that was.
Yeah.
For he is a Quizak Hazarak. Yeah, that one. I at least had some idea of the story, and so that kind of held me in on the first one. But this one, I liked the characters, the actors. I had trouble. I wish I had not just finished watching Masters of the Air.
Oh, 'cause
before
you couldn't
I watched
separate?
Dune 2 because of Austin Butler.
Uh-huh.
And I'm
It's
thinking,
just Austin Butler in Masters of the Air?
yeah, he's like one of the main guys.
Okay.
And
You didn't
so-
make it. You didn't get past the first couple episodes, right?
I didn't get past the first couple of minutes. I need to give it another shot.
Then you may have missed it.
Yeah, you may have missed him, but he still was great.
Uh-huh.
He showed his range, and so in that regard, I like that.
Ooh, yeah.
I liked that part about Dune 2. It just wasn't, it didn't grab my attention. I think like the first one, but I don't regret seeing it.
At least he wasn't doing Elvis again.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, see, but all
There's a lot of
that.
sand down here.
Did you have marbles in your mouth?
Spice. I need some more spice, Colonel.
We can do a beach movie. Barry.
Baron. Not Colonel Baron.
I'm
Colonel Parker.
Colonel
I know
Parker,
Colonel
Elvis.
Parker, but it's Baron Harkonnen. I mean, if you're going to... Never mind. Never mind. Just move on past.
I think you just made my point.
Yeah. So I find it interesting that you each like different
I thought
parts.
that. Yeah, I think that's interesting too. Yeah.
But
And you liked both of them.
Oh, I
very
love both
much,
of them.
right?
I thought they were great. A few minor quibbles. I don't like the compressed timeline of the second movie because the Dune takes place across basically 5 years. So obviously, spoiler alerts. But Aaliyah, his little sister who was in utero, was born before the final battle with the Harkonnen. So Paul and his mom end up with the Fremen for like 4 or 5 years. Aaliyah's born. She becomes
and they make it seem like it's a few months.
Yeah.
At
So,
most, maybe a few weeks. Yeah.
Exactly. So I didn't like the compression of that, but I thought everything else was pretty faithful. Johnny's role was dramatically expanded, not unlike Liv Tyler's role in Lord of the Rings.
Who are you talking about?
That's who.
Zendaya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way that Dune ends, they have the final confrontation in the throne room, just like and Paul kills Fade, but he then basically takes Princess Arulin for his wife so he can rule the known universe.
Yeah.
And Johnny and Jessica have this little sidebar saying, basically, don't worry, history will forget the wives and remember the concubines, because Johnny was his concubine at that point.
Yeah.
And, Rebecca Ferguson, Jessica, I guess she didn't really have any be Atreides. She was Duke Leto's concubine. They never married because there was always hope of some sort of imperial arrangement where Leto,
a marital thing that would align some things.
An alliance of great houses. So that Johnny getting really upset about what Paul did to her people from the Messiah complex sort of thing was somewhat in character. Was not really in character with the book, but I can see how they're setting up Dune Messiah, because that's part of the whole underlayment of Dune Messiah is that Paul Atreides is the anti-hero. He unleashes this jihad across the known universe and billions of people die. So, but
like his vision said.
So the movie ends where the first book ends, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the third part of the trilogy, because I think Denis Villeneuve is planning. Is planning a third movie, but it'll be Dune Messiah.
Yeah,
and that'll wrap up the trilogy that he's going to do.
That's
and then I think you were saying, I can't remember, it was off mic if we were talking about it before, but he's not going to do anything after that, and there's really no reason to, because you shift so dramatically to a whole different character. Don't you go back in time?
No, you don't.
Go forward in time?
Yeah, okay. Well, if you recall,
I don't.
Clearly, we don't.
Yeah. How far did you read in the book?
I know I read at least the first two. I think I read into the third one years ago. I was going to reread them again, so I can't remember what happened. And maybe I didn't get as much into the third one because all of a sudden it's a completely set of characters, right?
Yeah. So the third book, Children of Dune, Chani and Paul have twins, and
one is raised by no.
Well, yeah. But it's so Leto is the son that Paul and Chani have, and Leto has his dad's Messiah powers, right? He's got some of the Kwisatz Haderach powers, and then the next book after Children of Dune is God Emperor of Dune, and Leto actually becomes a sandworm.
Okay, that does sound
Is it ringing some bells?
Yeah, it does. I know I definitely read
a sandworm.
Yes. He mutates into a sandworm and goes. The book jumps forward like.
And that's where they said it just starts to go off the rails.
Oh yeah, it's way off the rails. Dune Messiah was okay.
Yeah, and Children. I think I got as far as Children of Dune, third book, right?
Yeah,
I don't think I finished anything. I don't think I did anything after that.
And I can't remember what's after God Emperor of Dune.
Now,
there's Chapter House Dune, which talks about the Bene Gesserit. And
how many of the books? When was it that Frank Herbert was no longer?
I think
alive?
God Emperor was his last.
Okay, so he was involved in that one.
Yeah,
and maybe even it may have been somebody else finished it for him.
Well, his son Brian Herbert.
Okay,
not unlike Christopher Tolkien.
Okay,
I'm going to look and see what all books there are. But
do you think Zendaya played the part as it should have been played?
I liked her modernization of it. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. I thought she was good.
I like her.
She's such a great actress.
I just couldn't. I guess I was too much Spider-Man's girlfriend thinking, and the kids shows she did. It's a very serious role, and I'm trying to picture her as a seasoned fighter, and I just a little bit hard to wrap my head around that a little bit. But I like her though. I mean, I do like her.
I'm trying to get the list of Dune novels. He actually wrote 5 sequels, and Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, God Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, which I've never touched, and then Chapter House Dune. Then he passed in '86, and then his son Brian, and then Kevin J. Anderson wrote like another dozen novels.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, starting in 1999. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a cash grab.
I was about to say the words were coming out of my mouth.
But
Cash grab.
You know, not unlike the Wheel of Time, which has taken all of time to finish. Either one of you guys watch Wheel of Time on Prime? Yeah.
Is that the one with Rosamund Pike?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I did watch a few episodes of that. We talked about that. Production values of that felt very much like a 90s TV show. I
Thought I was watching The Legends of Hercules.
Yeah, Xena or Hercules.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the book, did he actually marry the Empress?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, at the end of the movie, I mean, yeah.
I know he proposed.
Oh,
Or
he didn't
more like-
propose. He demanded, you know.
Trying to be gentle here.
I will tell you, I love Christopher Walken as the Emperor.
Yeah,
really
that was
did
an
like
interesting.
that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So,
And who's the guy's name that was the one that was
Skarsgård?
floating around? Yeah, Skarsgård.
Stella Skarsgård.
yeah. Yeah. Baron Harkonnen.
Creepy,
Yeah.
but well done. I mean, he
Oh,
was
yeah.
definitely the guy for that.
Yeah. He, I liked his portrayal better than
the other
than
guy.
the 84
Yeah, uh-huh.
Dune Harkonnen, you know. One thing that's interesting, all the,
And the part that Austin Butler played was Sting before.
Yeah.
Fade.
yeah,
Oh,
Fade
really?
Yatha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Sting told Austin Butler he still had the cod piece, that he had on in Dune. He's welcome to it if he wants it at any point. So, one of the things that was real interesting is the scenes from Getty Prime, which is the Harkonnen homeworld, was that stark black and white, but they didn't shoot it in black and white. They used an infrared modified camera, so they're shooting in infrared to get those
really stark contrast kind of
yeah,
stuff.
man. I love that.
I tell you something else too. Dave Bautista, former wrestler, is an incredible actor.
He has come a long way.
I mean, it's just like you don't see him. Oh, he's pretty good for for a wrestler. He's just really good.
his range as Beast Rabon, as he was known, so was quite good.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job.
Yeah,
in
I
this
think he's
movie.
really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
what, Javier Bardem?
Yeah.
Is that right, his name?
Yeah.
He was a little different than I expected. You know,
What's Stilgar?
yeah, just a rough guy, but so into the Messiah and
Yeah.
prophecies and like the leader of
For
all
the
that.
for the record, dear listeners, I'm not looking at any notes as I come up with these names off the top of my head. So
and we're not, so we can check them.
that's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No,
Olive Garden. What did you say the guy's name was?
Olive Garden. So Stilgar was great. I mean, Bardem. I mean, yeah, he really bought into it. But the whole idea of the Bene Gesserit sowing these seeds of a coming Messiah in order to manipulate these people so that they can control spice, which we didn't see any of the space navigate. Any of
I
the
know,
Spacing
and that was
Guild
such a
man.
big part of the '84 movie.
Yeah.
Seeing those guys.
Because those were
big
really
tanks.
the power behind the throne.
So the Bene Gesserit were after the spice?
They were after power.
they were
Power.
after power.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Spice was
is
power. Yeah.
Yeah. He who holds Arrakis rules the universe, I
Yeah.
think is the line from the first.
So, okay, you bring that up, and there is a prequel series coming out on some streaming channel.
On Max, it's basically the Bene Gesserit from 1,000 years before,
Yeah.
and there's a Harkonnen in it, and there's they're setting up because if you recall the whole plan, the whole Bene Gesserit plan was to breed the ultimate female through the Atreides line and the ultimate male through the Harkonnen line,
Yeah.
and then they would mate, and they would have the Kwisatz Haderach, which was the ultimate being, and they would control him, and
Yeah.
so they would control everything.
And that ended up.
So it ended
Because
up
there was
being-
a little plot twist at the end that I didn't, that I'm sure you knew was coming, but when he found out, when Atreides found out his
Harkonnen.
mother was a Harkonnen.
So yeah, so he
Daughter.
is.
So he's the guy.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
But they
The
were
Dune dude. He
Yeah.
is the dude Dune.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, and he abides.
Yeah.
So, you like that one? Huh? So he is the Kwisatz Haderach, and so he is the ultimate breeding experiment to be able to control everything. One of the things that was very interesting with the Dune universe is the Bene Gesserit, the female group. The women had the power, and so every highborn princess female companion, whatever, in these great houses, they basically went to Bene Gesserit finishing school.
Yeah, which is what we saw with Florence Pugh's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and Florence Pugh's character, I thought it was great, but it didn't have a lot of oomph to it. I mean, she was there.
She was just, yeah, I mean.
But it didn't in the book either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Herbert didn't write very many strong women. And so.
And I'm sure they cast her to kind of get a little bit of gravitas just because that's who it is. So because otherwise there wasn't much in the development of that character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously from the book.
And if I recall correctly, you only saw the Emperor at the very end
Of the book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there may have been one other scene in it, but the Emperor was this big bad.
Yeah.
Not unlike Palpatine in Star Wars A New Hope.
Somehow.
So, I cannot believe Dune ripped off Star Wars that much, That was, which I still think's hilarious. Predates it. Did Lucas come up with anything original?
I don't know. I mean,
Ewoks.
a sand planet with different creatures.
Jar Jar Binks. That was his contribution to
John
original.
Carter of Mars, possibly.
Yeah. It's just, it is what it is.
1912. It's like Rain Man all of a sudden, 1912. Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Gotta go to
Definitely Edgar Rice Burroughs,
Kmart.
yeah.
Gotta go to Kmart.
You're not my
I need to
underwear,
watch.
Robin.
I need to watch Rain Man again. What a great movie!
That is a good movie.
That was a really good movie. Do you remember Rain Man?
Oh, yeah.
So was that kind of you and Rusty growing up? Rusty Man. That's it, Rusty Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll get an angry email.
Yeah, well.
Sorry, Brother Reed.
Yeah, I'm worried about Mrs. Reed coming after me on social media. So,
She ain't afraid.
She is not. So, all right, final thoughts on Dune 2.
When does the prequel come out?
Then he is directing something before. Oh, the prequel.
I'm sorry, the series.
Sometime later this year, early next year. I mean, it's been in production.
Yeah, I figured the third part's a ways off.
Yeah, because he's got another movie he wants to direct first, but he is writing it.
Okay,
So,
good deal. Yeah, like I said, I want to go back and rewatch the first one, watch them kind of back to back.
I probably should have done that, but
Yeah.
it's long.
yeah, but you're at your house.
Yeah, but I have other things to do in life than rewatch. I still got other.
For the podcast, Jay, for the podcast.
I watched this one for the podcast.
I'm sorry we put you out, Jay. I'm sorry you'll never get your 2.5 hours.
It's not me. I'm like, Melissa, we need to watch some guy movies this week.
Well, when you
I didn't get to Godzilla -1 though. That was my other.
That's a good one.
when you listen
Played
to
the Father's
the
Day card.
Paige Hunt episode, she will give you some movies that you can kind of make up that ground with.
We don't need to make up any
I
ground.
was going to
I've
say, you've
probably seen
all
most of those movies.
Yeah, but you have.
But I'm
Probably.
eager to listen to.
Paige was a good guest.
I mean, what a great episode that was.
It was, yeah,
yeah.
the one that Jay hasn't listened to yet.
Can't wait
So,
to hear it
yeah,
again.
and didn't you think the West episode was great, Art?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
It was cooking.
Ah.
Smoking. So,
Hot.
yeah, just like Dune and outside even.
Did y'all actually go cook somewhere? Did I understand that right?
No. We went to the Mexican grocery and it was great.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Mark the chef showed up.
Okay.
Because it was his real dad, his TV dad, and his TV sidekick. So, of course, he had to show up. So, plus free food.
There you go.
Dad's going to buy it
Yeah.
every time. Every time. All right, guys, that does it for us. We'll see you next time around.